Hey guys, what's up? I'm Joe, this is the Rebels Advocate, and I'm alive. But we're not live, because I still can't do that yet. Please ignore the naked chick behind me. That's how it goes where I live. You know, just naked girls in the swimming pool. It's crazy. She is wearing a swim diaper. So, what's going on? It's episode 3 of Wail. And so it'll probably be a short one today. We're just kind of chilling out. It's been a long day. And out here, the daughter's in her little pool. The wife's sitting here with me. So let's get to the comments from last week on the video. And remember, if you want any comments read, just comment. You can comment on this video and we'll read them next week, next Monday. So first one from the Lloyds, from Kim or Lloyd. I never know for sure who's commenting, but it says, I'm only 3/4 of the way into your vid, but I have to comment before I forget. My gosh, I have to comment about you realizing everyone you trusted had lied to you. That's good, you're finding it out sooner rather than later. I realized religion was crap shortly after my mother died in 2001. I continued to grow and really woke up in 2015 and have been continuing on that path. Thank you for explaining your view about OCD. I did not know that part. If you are able to stop one thing, then another takes its place. Sounds like you have a good therapist. You're not weird, Joe. I can relate to many things you are sharing. You're a good guy. Each day is a new day. You'll get there. Don't be so hard on yourself. And yeah, that, you know, like I talked in the last video, that is a, you know, kind of a shocking realization, and I think can definitely cause you a little trauma in your life to realize, you know, to just basically have to start life over, trying to figure out who you are, what you believe, you know, it shakes your entire world up. And then there was something else I wanted to comment about. You talking about realizing religion was crap in 2001 and really woke up in 2015. It's kind of crazy how those seeds can be, I think there's seeds that can be planted, and then it can take a while. I think for me, the change seemed pretty abrupt, and a lot of it came in 2012. But I think there were definitely seeds there for many years before that. It just took a long time to get to that point, and then when you do, it's really fast. Kind of an abrupt change, and it makes it feel like it happens overnight, when really it's, you know, it took years. And sometimes my memory is not great, but I'll think that I had such a drastic change in 2012 that I was, you know, from there on I was the person I am now. And then I see memories, Facebook memories, even up in 2013, 2014, where I, you know, so many things it was like I was still so ignorant about, and a lot of those ways I had were lingering. But yeah, and thanks for the kind words. Another comment here from Ben Adams. He said, I'm 36 seconds in and it seems as if it's going to get heavy, but wanted to say yo Joe. Now to watch the remainder of the video to see if I should delete this comment. And comment again, by the way, Joe, you don't suck. I don't watch people who suck. If they are annoying and or obnoxious, I just choose not to watch. Imagine that, and ignoring things, LOL. He said, willful ignorance is what it is. The same with people who refuse to adhere to safeguards and precautions with COVID. Amen. He said, Joe, I don't have an actual diagnosis of depression, but think I have a mild case. It's in my family history, so it's possible. I have days where I hear my alarm, turn it off, then lie there for hours. I can definitely relate to that. We're still doing, last 2 days have been pretty hectic. We've been up late, so I haven't followed through with my playing as good, but I plan on getting back on schedule tonight. I've been in bed by midnight, up at 8. That definitely makes a big difference. But I want to say something about Ben here. This dude, I guess, just found my channel 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know, it hasn't been long. And he left a comment, and then he left another comment, and I can't remember what I was doing the first day, and I seen he left another comment, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, he may have started with my very first video. I think that might have been the first one he found, I'm not sure. But I watched as this guy just made his way through my videos one by one, and it was kind of a
journey of Joe.
Yeah, it was a journey of Joe, and I was like, man, there was no way I could respond to all his comments, but I appreciate it so much, Ben, because it was a lot of fun. And for me, a lot of these videos, I can't even remember what I talked about, but like to see you watch them, and it kind of bringing back memories, and me thinking about, what was I doing that day, or what inspired that video, or whatever it was. And it was and two, I couldn't believe, I was like, some of these videos are an hour or 2 hours long. Like, how can anybody take that much me? I don't. I commend you for that. That's but it's been a lot of fun, and thanks for subscribing and watching my videos, and your interaction has been great. I love it. Everybody that interacts like that, I appreciate it so much. One more I want to get to real quick. It's from Ryan Bowman. And before I even read your comment, Ryan, I just want to tell you, I am not ignoring you, I promise. I got your last email, and I'm going to be contacting you soon. You can ask my wife. I am the world's worst procrastinator. I'm the world's worst person to get back in touch with people. Is that not correct?
100%.
My best friend, I talk to him every 2 or 3 months, and he always calls me. And I tell my wife sometimes, it's like, please make me call him, because he always, I'll have this thing where I'm like, I really need to call him because it's been so long. And then he'll call me, and I'll be like, man, I was just getting ready to call you. And he's like, yeah, sure. Because I never do. And it's something I've got to get better about. And I have the same problem, like answering emails, answering comments. I kind of like this, where I can just, it gives me a schedule. I can address them right here on the video. But I read every one of them. But usually what it is I feel like, well, I don't really have the time right now to respond the way I want to, or I need to think about it for a minute. And then that turns into tomorrow, and then next week, and then after a week goes by, then you're like, well, it's kind of past the time now. I feel stupid to go back and answer it now. It's something I got to get over. It's stupid, but yeah, Ryan, I actually look forward to getting up with you and talking some more. So please don't think I'm ignoring you. I promise I'm not. I look forward to talking to you. But Ryan said, do you feel there are any positive aspects of the church culture you grew up in? For example, dinner on the ground, potlucks, music, community, etc. Do you miss any of these, or are they pretty much all triggering? That's kind of a tough one, because in some ways I still on occasion go to these dinners, potlucks and things like that. It's kind of something I've just recently talked to my wife about, kind of wanting to pull away some, because just the attitude of so many church-going people lately has been toxic, to say the least. And before, I really didn't have a problem hanging out, with them, and I still have relationships with them. Still had a lot of friendships, people that go to church, and it's a tough situation, because like I've tried to talk about before, is so hard to even know how I feel about some of these people when, you know, on one side they're some of the nicest people in the world that do anything for you. Some of these people have done amazing things for me. They've helped me when I needed help. They'll do anything for people in their circle, and that doesn't mean you have to be a Christian. It's just like in their little circle, but they lack so much empathy for anyone outside of that circle, that it's appalling, and it bothers me, to be honest. And it's hard to come to grips with that. And like I'm confused. Like, are they good people who are just ignorant? Like they just lack, you know, the saying, they don't really even know what they're doing wrong, or do they really just deep down they just do not care about these people? You know what I mean? It's almost like out of sight, out of mind. Like if they can't see them, you know, some of the people that they're so prejudiced against, or you know, have no sympathy for, if those people were right in front of them, they would probably do anything for them. They probably would be good to those people and do the right thing, but if they're not, they just seem to not care. And I guess things like that just bother me, and it kind of gets hard to go and be around them and smile and pretend like you know, everything's okay. It gets harder. As far as the triggering part, there are weird, I have some weird triggers, like, but not bad triggers, like nothing that would send me into, you know, anything really negative, you know, like send me into a spiral or anything like that. But I can see people out, like we could be at a restaurant and it could be people that are not church people whatsoever, but to see people dressed up, like in, you know, just in dressy clothes, it just kind of, that'll take me back. And so I have a hard time, like I don't like certain dressy clothes that reminds me of church. It's just, and like I said, it's not like a super negative thing. Like, it doesn't trigger, when I say it kind of triggers me, it's a very light trigger, you know. It's not like being triggered by something that, you know, would send me into a panic attack or, you know, anything like that. But there definitely are triggers if I've seen certain people from my past, and luckily a lot of those I don't see hardly ever. But so anyway, is there good aspects to it? Like the community part is definitely, you know, it's hard to replace the church community, because usually there's this group of people, even if you're at a small church with, say, 100 people, not everybody has 100 people just in a close-knit network of friends that you could kind of rely on. And not in every church is different, but if you're at a church with, you know, relatively good-hearted people, and there's 100 people in that church, and you're close, and you have dinners, like, there's going to be a positive aspect to that for sure. You know, it's just, I mean, it's a kind of a safety network. It's you know, having more friends is going to help mentally, you know. It just in a lot of ways, you know, where out of church, it's hard to find that kind of community. I know in some places, you know, there are atheist communities that get together. That's harder to find around here. And if you, and two, not all atheist communities are good communities either. I'll just be honest, like, you go on Facebook and just search for atheist groups and go enter those groups. I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of toxic groups out there that I want nothing to do with. Like, being an atheist doesn't make you a good person, for sure. And so it's really important, kind of, really, to me, I would rather find people that aligned with my beliefs, kind of my worldview about being good to people, you know, just being more of a humanist. And then outside of that, like, that is more important to me than their belief in a God or not. Like, I'd rather hang out with good humanist Christians who maybe were those kind of Christians who don't take the Bible literally, who don't believe everything that's said in it. Like, I don't agree with them, but I would rather hang with those people than just people that shared the same God belief I did, but were shitty human beings. You know what I mean? So I would have no problem hanging out with the church people, you know, these potlucks, things like it. It doesn't make me want to go to church. I definitely have triggers to that. Like, it just, I don't like being inside churches. I've gone in the past few years, things like Christmas plays or things like that, but it's not something I really like. But anyway, thanks for the comments, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, I did want to make one special announcement too. My wife has started throwing out my underwear that have holes in them, and so there's that. So at least from now on, I should be wearing underwear, whether they're new or not. At least they won't have holes in them. And the other thing I was going to say is, this is the 3rd episode of Wail, and this is the 3rd time I've talked about my underwear, and I felt like that was a good cutoff point. So I'm just going to make a promise to you guys. Well, I'm not going to promise. I can't promise, but I'm going to try to say this will be the last episode we talk about my underwear, unless there's overwhelming requests, you know, for me to talk more about it. Because, I mean, I guess there's a lot of things we could get into about the underwear, you know. There's different kinds of underwear, you know. I mean, we could definitely go, you know, a lot of different routes talking about underwear, if that's something you're interested in. Also, my hairdo, this was my wife's. My wife did this to me the other day. I think I just swallowed a gnat. I didn't swallow it. Anyway, that's that. Also, the health thing. Y'all know I had some tests coming up. I was a little worried about the C word and all of that. But the good news is I don't have to worry about that anymore, because I won't. Because as of today, we no longer have health insurance. So that's good. So I don't have to go to the doctor, and I won't even get the test done, because, you know, here in America, your insurance is tied to your job, and once you lose that, you lose the insurance. And so that became official today. So no more insurance. So cancel those. But we're trying to get some help, and hopefully we can get some help, and I can get back along with that, because that would cut out basically even therapy, all that good stuff. So hopefully we can get that took care of pretty soon and get back on track. I've been thinking about making a video. You know, I made the video the other day about America, talking about freedom and this and that, and so I had this idea for a video, and I was like, you know, I thought I might, you know, actually write it out, maybe. I don't know, because you know, I hardly ever write anything. I just have an idea and turn the camera on. You know, if I would actually write it, I guess it would be a little better. And so I was like, you know, maybe this one I'll actually write out and talk about it. Seemed like something worth talking about. Well, like 30 minutes later, I had a completely different idea, and I thought, I might make a video about that write that one out. But here's the thing: they're completely contradictory to each other. It's like both ideas are completely contradict each other, and yet I still find myself kind of believing both of them. So I don't really know what to do with that yet. And I'll just tell you guys, since you're taking the time to watch this nonsense, me just sitting here blabbering, I'll just tell you what it was. Like, the first one was, I was thinking about how kind of stupid patriotism is, and I still think it is. Like, it just seems silly to me, and maybe it's where I look at the world differently than some people. I kind of, I look at things in a very realistic point of view, and it just seems silly, like patriotism, period. I guess I just don't buy into it a whole lot. And so I was going to talk about that. And I know some people get so upset about it because we tie a lot of patriotism, for some reason, we tie that into our troops. So if you're not patriotic, you must hate the troops. And so, fly that American flag to support the troops. Well, to me, I kind of look at it differently. I look at it as if I'm flying that flag, it's me glorifying the country that has, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have the largest military budget in the world. The largest military budget in the world, yet there are charities. There are charity organizations that are set up to help our veterans. There are people who have dedicated their life to helping veterans fight legal cases against our government to try to get them the help they need. From the country that has the largest military budget in the world, but we can't take care of our men and women that served after they're done serving. So to me, to fly that American flag is almost like a slap in the face to our troops, for a country that pretends to care. And this goes to both sides. I really can't just throw that at the Republicans and say that's their fault. That's a Republican and Democrat thing together, because both parties have had power at one point or another over the years, and it's just not been taken care of. There's vets that have to scratch and claw and fight for every benefit. It's like once they're done, they're done. And you can sing the national anthem and wave your flag and do all the lip service you want, but to me, it's like, prove it. If you really support the troops, then prove it. Let's see some change to help the troops. You know what I mean? And so it seems like patriotism is just kind of empty. It doesn't mean anything. And it's not to say I don't love my country, because I do love my country. It's just, I guess I just feel like it needs to be so much better. Not to mention our horrible history. We don't have that proud of a history. If you get the non-whitewashed version of it, you get the real version. It's, there's a lot of things to not be so proud about. So now, that was kind of the first thing I was like, I kind of wanted to dig deeper in and see how I felt about. And then, like, right after that, I had this other thought of watching of a video where I wanted to see more liberals reclaim the American flag, because I feel like the right is trying to almost use the American flag as their symbol, and I think it creates this almost puts them as if they're the real Americans, they're the patriots or whatnot. And so here I am on one hand thinking, well, patriotism's kind of stupid, and then on the other hand I'm thinking, no, we need to reclaim that. And I'll explain what I mean. I don't know if any of you watched on Netflix, there's a documentary called The Alt-Right, or Alt-Right, I can't remember. And I was watching that, and I got to thinking about all these times that you see kind of a clash of two groups in one. You know, they may not, you know, whether they're political or not, they seem to get divided by politics. And usually you'll have the right on one side and the left on the other. And it seems like the right, on top of often using the Confederate flag and, you know, Nazi symbols or whatever else they might use, they use the American flag. And this is another reason that I was kind of on the side of the whole patriotism thing aggravate me, because it seems like it shows up more when we want to make a point against a group of people. You know, it's almost like to shove it in their face, you know, and so I don't like that part of it. But anyway, I was thinking all these things when it's right, left. What? What's she saying?
She's saying daddy, mommy, daddy.
Hi,
mommy.
Peyton. Are you having fun? Woo! But anyway, it seems like all these right-wing nuts, these gun-toting, you know, rebel flag-waving nut jobs, they use that American flag, and I think it's almost become a symbol for them, and maybe that's the reason a lot of us on the left kind of, you know, you don't see it as much. You just don't see it used as much on our side. And so I was thinking maybe we need to take that back. We need to stop this narrative of you're the patriot, because they're not the patriots. All they want to do, and the reason they use this flag is because they want to take us back. They want to take us back 50 years, 100 years, whatever it may be. You know, make America great again. You know, really means make America like it used to be. You know, a little more racist. You know, what have you, and so a little more theocratic. And but I think we should reclaim that symbol, and not as a symbol. Look at it in a different way of not, yeah, we love what America is, but to be like, we love America. We want change in America. This flag stands for what we want to achieve in America. We believe America can be better, and so I don't know. It's something I got to think about, look into, and sort my own thoughts, because like I said, a lot of it's contradictory. In one part of it, I just you know, it's like to wave the American flag almost feels like to join that side or something, you know, because it's become such a symbol to them. But in the other part, it's like, no, we don't, that shouldn't be a thing. I think we need to take it back, because, you know, we do love America. If we didn't, we wouldn't be fighting so damn hard to make it better.
She's singing.
What are you singing? Huh? You singing?
Mommy finger, mommy finger, where are you? Here I am, here I am, how do you do? Daddy finger, where are you? Here I am, how do you do?
It's like the weirdest song in the world, by the way. But yeah, that's it. Did I have anything else I was going to talk about?
I have no idea.
So I think I'm going to get off here and watch my little girl swim. I've been watching her in the camera here. But it was nice talking to you guys. Look at that. 29 minutes, 15 seconds. Let's go to 30 minutes. So anyway, yeah, comment on this video if you like your comment read in next week's video. And I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all my patrons. Thank you guys so much. And I appreciate just all the subscribers and people watching. Thanks a lot.
Peyton says she appreciates you too.
Do you appreciate them too? Peyton appreciates you guys too. But I'm gonna get off here, and we'll see you guys. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next Monday for sure. Well, you know, you may not get this video to Tuesday, I don't know. But we'll see you guys next week for sure, and we will maybe have a video in between. I don't know. We'll see. Dang it, I went over 30 minutes. Oh, shoot. But not by much. See you guys later.